What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be getting into my Week 14 NFL predictions. So let's dive right into it. Starting out with what I got right and what I got wrong from last week. Let's start out with the Thursday night football game. I did pick the Patriots to upset the Buffalo Bills. The Bills were just the better team in that one, and the Patriots couldn't get it done. I did pick the upset for the Steelers on the road to beat the Atlanta Falcons right there. Did get the Green Bay Packers win over the Bears. Wasn't looking good for a while there, but the Packers were able to renew their ownership on the Bears. Lions, I did pick to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars there. They dominated them surprisingly. Big win for Detroit. And then I picked the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Jets. The Jets almost pulled off a big upset. Then I did pick the Giants to beat the Commanders, but it does not count because it is a tie, so it does not matter. The Giants just couldn't come through for me there. I did pick the upset for the Tennessee Titans for the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown and the Eagles just demolished Tennessee in that game. A big win for the Eagles. Did pick the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Denver Broncos. Broncos should have won that game, but I'm not complaining that I got that pick right. I did pick the Browns to beat the Houston Texans. Got that one right. I picked the Seahawks to beat the LA Rams. Just barely got that one right. So big win for Seattle. I did pick the Miami Dolphins to pull off the upset over the San Francisco 49ers. But the Niners, Brock Purdy and this defense was enough to beat the Dolphins. Some worries for that Dolphins defense right now, and Tua did not have a good game. I was debating by this one, but this was a big game for the Cincinnati Bengals, who upset the Kansas City Chiefs. It seems like Joe Burrow is the one that owns the Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. So Chiefs fans probably hoping that they don't run into the Bengals in the playoffs again this season, or else it could go south. I did pick the Raiders to pull off the upset over the Chargers, and the Raiders came through for me there. Did pick the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Colts. It was actually a close game to start out that game, and then the Colts scored 30 points or something. I mean, the Cowboys scored 30 points in the fourth quarter, and it was just a blowout at that point. And then, I was about to get a big upset pick here for the Saints up against the Bucs, but the Saints choked it away and could not get it done. So the Buccaneers win that one, and the Saints the Saints lose. All right. So I went 9-5 that week. My whole record right now is 119-74. So pretty decent, I would say. But let's see if we can improve on that. Starting out with the Thursday night game tonight, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the LA Rams. Big game here, for the Rams. Their season's pretty much done at this point, but they're still going to keep fighting. Sean McVay's a good coach. He's going to keep his team fighting. But the Raiders have turned things around, a team that maybe if they can win a few more games, their schedule's winnable over the next. They could maybe be in the playoff picture right now. So I do think Sean McVay is going to have a good game plan for this Raiders defense. We saw it against Seattle. The Rams offense, though, it's just not really good enough. The Raiders defense has stepped it up the past couple of weeks, especially that defensive line. So I do think they're going to be able to get after Wolford in this game, or Mayfield, whoever starts. And then the Rams defense has been playing well, basically all season. It's just been an average defense. Just to be honest with Rams fans, it still has a lot of good playmakers on that defense. I do think Aaron Donald's going to return. I am going to take the Raiders, though, in this one on the road. The Rams, it's a short week. They're coming off a very hard-fought game against the Seahawks. I think they're going to be a little bit banged up for this one, as that was a big game for them that they really wanted to win. So I'm going to take the Raiders in this one, although I could very much see an upset on Thursday night. Let's go over here. We're going to have the New York Jets traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills trying to get revenge for earlier on in this year against Mike White this time for the Jets. I think this is going to be Mike White's worst game yet. He's going up against a very rough Bills defense here. And the Jets defense is obviously good, but I don't think it's good enough here to stop Josh Allen and this team. And I'm going to take the Bills in this one to pull off the win. All right, let's go down here. We're going to have Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Cleveland Browns here in this game. Deshaun Watson's return against the Houston Texans didn't really go as planned. The Browns really kind of struggled, but I was kind of anticipating that for Watson. But he's going up against a tough Bengals defense here that's playing well. The thing is though the Browns have played the Bengals very well as of lately. We saw the last game on Halloween. The Browns just crushed the Bengals, just out physicaled them. But I just don't trust Deshaun Watson right now. I do think this Bengals team has improved since then. They're getting back Joe Mixon for this game. This game being played in Cincy, I do think the Bengals are going to have enough in this one. A lot of people counting out the Browns for this one. I could see an upset here. So be watching out for that, but I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, let's go down here. We have the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Houston Texans. Man, 1% of people picking the Houston Texans in this game. I really agree with everyone. I mean, this is just a mismatch here for Dallas. Could Dallas choke away like they sometimes do? Maybe. Houston just does not have enough talent on offense to compete with this Dallas defense. I don't think if this one's going to be close. Let's go down here. We're going to have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. A big game here. Minnesota Vikings, they just keep finding ways to win. I do think they're 10-2 is a little bit too much for this Vikings team. I think, judging on this team's more 8-4 and 7-5. I'm going to be completely honest. But they just find ways to win with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson and this offense. The Vikings defense is kind of sus on that side of the ball. We saw against the Jets, they nearly blew that game, but were able to hold on. Detroit has played very well over the past couple of weeks here. They played the Vikings close earlier on in the year. And with this game being played at home, I do think Jared Goff and the Lions are going to be able to have some success against this Vikings defense. And the Lions defense has stepped it up, so I do think they're going to do just enough to keep them in this game. And I'm going to take the Lions. Ollie, no. Okay, sorry. This is my dog eating something. But anyway, let's get into the next matchup here. We're going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. Here, wait 1 second. All right, sorry. So a division rivalry game. A lot of people counting out the Jaguars for this one. The Titans are coming off a rough loss to the why can't I think? Oh, the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles. The Jaguars also coming off a very frustrating loss to the Lions. So this is a big game for both these teams. These teams have got to step it up. The Titans are a better football team than the Jaguars. I do think they're going to be able to run the football against the squishy Jaguars defense for the Titans. With Derrick Henry. And I just don't think the Jaguars are going to have enough against the Titans defense. I do think the Titans are going to be ready for this one. Vrabel's going to get this team ready on defense, especially after a rough game against the Eagles. And I do think the Titans are going to beat the Jaguars. Let's go down here. We're going to have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants for a big NFC East matchup here. Eagles obviously 11-1 right now. They could just beat a lot of teams in a lot of different ways, and that's what makes this Eagles team scary. Now, don't count out the Giants in this game. This one is being played in MetLife Stadium. This could be a closer game than a lot of people anticipate. I am not going to take the upset, though. The Eagles are the better team, in my opinion, so I'm going to take the Eagles. All right, it's a big matchup here. The Baltimore Ravens take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. You look at the Ravens right now with Tyler Huntley. He's going to be playing for this one. I'm just not sure how good he's going to do. This offense has just been inconsistent all year, and the Steelers' defense has stepped it up as of late. with TJ Watt returning. So I do think the Ravens offense is going to struggle in this game, in a game on the road in Pittsburgh. Now Tyler Huntley's he's a good backup. He's a good backup, but he struggled against Denver's defense, and I do think the Steelers defense can do. It's not as good as Denver's, but I do think they're going to be able to do some things to make the Ravens struggle. And then offensively, Kenny Pickett's been pretty solid. Ben. A lot of people kind of been counting him out, but he has been much better as of late for the Steelers. The Ravens' defense is pretty darn good, but I am going to take the Steelers. It's a division rivalry game. Mike Tomlin will get this defense ready for Huntley, and I do think the Steelers are going to pull off the win. All right, let's move on down here. We're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson and the Broncos have clearly struggled all season long. This is a must, not even a must-win game, but they just got to figure some things out offensively. And they're going up against, the Chiefs' defense is not great, but Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs is going to have enough in this one. I don't really see, I can't really pick the Broncos, especially against a great team like the Chiefs right now. I just really can't do it the way the Broncos have been playing on offense. I do think that the Broncos play teams close, though, so I do think this game could be closer than a lot of people anticipate, but they just find ways to lose, and that's what I think they're going to do again. Let's go down here. We're going to have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Purdy and the 49ers. The backup quarterback, obviously, he got injured. Jimmy Garoppolo got injured, so they have to go to the Mr. Irrelevant player here in Brock Purdy. So the Buccaneers, obviously in their last game on Monday night, a thriller for Tom Brady, coming back, winning that one, finding a way for Tom Brady, and that's what he did against the against the Saints. For Purdy in this one, he played well, but I do think the Bucs defense, being prepared for Purdy, I do think a defensive-minded team, they're going to be able to figure some things out. I think Purdy's going to struggle today. So I'm going to take Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to pull off a win here over the Niners, and the Niners fall to 8-5. Here we go. We got the Carolina Panthers coming off their bye week, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are coming off a big win over the LA Rams in their last game. You look at Seattle, just kept fighting in that game. Geno Smith led that game-winning drive, and this team's looking good. They have to go up against another stingy Panthers defense who plays well at times. Sometimes they suck, but, at times, if they're clicking, they're a good defense, and they're coming off a bye week. So this one could be closer than a lot of people anticipate. The Seahawks defense has been bad lately, and Sam Darnold played great against the Broncos. But I just don't think it's going to be enough for the Panthers. I do think the Seahawks are the better team here. This game being played in Lumen Fields, I just don't think that Darnold is going to have the same performance that he did against Seattle. So I'm going to take, against, that he did anyway. I'm going to take the Seahawks here. Let's go to Sunday Night Football here. We're going to have the Miami Dolphins traveling to SoFi Stadium to take on the LA Chargers. Big game here for both of these teams. The Dolphins are coming off a frustrating loss to the San Francisco 49ers, where Tua kind of struggled in their last game. And the Chargers, just right now, it's just the Justin Herbert show. It's just really not been anything else besides Herbert back there. So this is a big game, especially for the Chargers. They need to win this game right now. They cannot fall below 500 if they want to make the playoffs this season. Tua Tagovailoa had a rough game last game. That is for dang sure. I do think he can figure some things out today. And I do think that the Dolphins offense will have a lot of success against the Chargers defense. But then the Justin Herbert side of things, the Dolphins defense has not been good this season. They have to go to SoFi Stadium here. I just don't really trust the Dolphins defense with all these injuries right now, the way they've been playing. Justin Herbert, I think, is going to go insane in this game. He knows that they need to win this game. And ultimately, I just trust Herbert more than Tua. I'm going to be honest. Tua, I know it's just one bad game. He has been playing like the better quarterback this season, but Herbert, knows that he needs to win this game. So I am going to take the Chargers at home to pull off an upset on Sunday Night Football. All right, let's finish off on Monday Night Football. We're going to have the New England Patriots taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Interesting matchup here for New England. New England's coming off a tough loss to the Bills. The Cardinals coming off their bye week. New England basically is getting a bye week as playing on Thursday Night Football last game. So I do think Bill Belichick's going to get his team ready. This defense, I think, is going to have a much better game than they performed against the Bills. So I do think things are going to improve for the Patriots there. Kyler Murray, I think he's a good quarterback for the Cardinals. He's going to have to lead his team here, but I just don't really trust this Cardinals team in general. Even coming off a bye week, they're just not a well-coached team really at all, and I just don't trust the Cardinals here. So I'm going to take Bill Belichick. I think he's going to get his team ready. Mac Jones, I think, is going to play better against a much worse defense here against the Cardinals, and I do think the Patriots get a win. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your predictions, and anyway,